Good evening, Namaste. I welcome you all to this Vichar webinar series. We welcome our speaker today, Shriram Iyer ji. Welcome. The initiative Vichar is an initiative of Federation of Indian Associations Victoria. My name is Surya Soni. I'm former president of FIAV and current trustee of FIAV and AICCT. So during my leadership, I realized there's a huge gap for people to people connect in the community, and through FI forum, during that forum, I met a lot of talented people in the community, including Shriramji many times, and we believe that the voice need to be heard by a wider audience, and we can all learn from each other. By this small mini weekly webinar series, we can all collectively grow our wisdom. We can learn from each other, support each other. We are a small extended family here in far away from our homeland, and we need to share our wisdom we have learned very hard way in our life. We don't want to repeat those mistakes. We don't want to go into the struggle phase forever. We need to support and learn from each other. There is a huge potential in our community and tons of talent in the Victoria, and this is where this initiative comes. And if you know any more people, speakers, talented people in the community who want to share their wisdom, please reach out to me. Those who are watching it on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family so that more people can get benefit out of this. So without further delay, I'll make a very brief introduction, then let Shriram do extended introduction as well. So Shriram, also known as Iyer, Siyer, Shriram Iyer, is a Melbourne-based inspirational speaker, leadership coach, MC, and published author who helps leaders and team achieve peak performance through his high energy practical sessions. Drawing on his MBA from Melbourne Business Schools and years leading marketing and strategy with organizations like Census and AGL, he blends commercial experience with powerful storytelling to inspire bold, purpose-driven leadership. As we prepare to enter a new year, most people are busy setting goals, but real success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing the things you are great at. Excited to welcome Shriram Iyer. Over to you without further delay.
Thank you, Suriji. Thank you very much for inviting me to this forum itself. I've enjoyed the last few sessions immensely, and also for inviting me to contribute as a speaker. So it is an incredible privilege. Thank you very much. Can I request all of you on the call, even if you are eating, it's okay. You can switch on your cameras because the high energy that he talked about, I get it from you and then I return it back to you with interest. So that is how it generally works. So otherwise, it feels like I'm just giving a presentation to Suriji. All right. So if you could please switch on your cameras, that would be greatly appreciated. And that gives it that nice interpersonal touch. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. I am going to share screen. And yeah, we will have a Q&A at the end. We might run a little bit late. I will try to save the 10 minutes that it currently shows. Okay, all right. I will get into it. So today it's called How to Play to Your Strengths and the secret to achieving your goals in 2026. It's not that clickbaity and it's not that much of a secret. I should have probably used the word open secret. Yeah, it is something that is well known to a lot of us. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Okay, how to play to your strength. But before that, he used the word storyteller. I love to tell stories. So I'm going to share a story with a lot of you. How many of you know who climbed Mount Everest first? If you could, put it into the chat window, that'll be really interesting. As I said, I like things to be engaging, and it works two ways. Mount Everest was climbed, first summited by this beekeeper from New Zealand, humble beekeeper from New Zealand, whose name was Sir Edmund Hillary. That's the person to the left. So 1953, May 29th, the impossible became possible, right? It's a fascinating story. And what had happened was that there were actually three teams. So team one was given the task of climbing something that is 8,848 meters long. tall, right? This way. How many of you can do a 9 kilometer walk? Many of us. But how many can do it vertically? Right? And after 8,000 meters, oxygen levels drop to zero. They call it the death zone. So team one actually failed. They got within 91 meters of something that is 8,848 meters. 91 meters. Just missed by this much. They had to return back due to lack of oxygen supplies. This gave an opportunity to team two, which is actually Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, and they became the first people to climb Mount Everest, primarily because they got an opportunity due to the relative failure of team one to summit Mount Everest. Okay, so hang on to this story. We are going to discuss a lot about it. What has this got to do with what we got? So first of all, I love the mountain analogy. If you were to think of the top of the mountain as your, I suppose, your goal, where you want to get to, then you are somewhere near the bottom of the mountain today. That is where you are today, now, your status quo. Your goal is a big goal. It feels like a mountain away, at the top of the mountain. The question is, how do you get there? There are many ways to get there. One of the ways that we are going to talk about is by understanding 4 words, strengths and opportunities, which in this story of your life where you are the hero, you have 2 more friends supporting you. You have 2 more heroes, supporting actors. Your strengths and the opportunities that are given to you. They are good for you. They are your friends. They are your heroes. They will get you to your destination. However, there are 2 villains as well. There are 2 villains in this story. Those villains are your weaknesses and the threats that you face. They will push you in the opposite direction. Now, which one wins? It determines how fast and if you even get to your goal. So today is about the story of these 4 characters, apart from you. Of course, 2 of them belong to you and 2 of them are external to you. Your strengths and weaknesses belong to you. They are yours. They are uniquely yours. But opportunities and threats, they are external to you. How much control do you have on what is external to you? Absolutely zero. Nothing. How much control do you have on what you possess, your strengths and weaknesses? 100%. But it's the beautiful interplay between these 4 that determine goal attainment, whether you hit your goal or not. 1 year back, you would have had some goals. Now, I don't know how well you've done this year. Maybe some you hit, some you missed, like most of us, myself included. But we are here again in December 2025. And we're looking forward to the next 12 months and going, you know what, I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. It's possible. And all of you might have your own idea of what that goal might look like. Again, if I can just request most of you to switch on your cameras, it will add to that personal element. Yeah. So the 3 words I want you to remember: your goal at the very top, then opportunities and strengths. So an acronym that I have developed, goal, opportunity, strengths. An acronym I have developed is GOS. GOS. We all like some GOS, don't we? But this is the GOS that's going to help you. This is the GOS that will actually get you to where you want to get to. It's an easy acronym, GOS. GOS, in that order: goal, opportunities, strengths. Feel free to put some chats and questions and all that into the chat. Let's keep it engaging. Okay. Shyam, no problem. That's fine. Thank you, Shyam. No problem. Thanks for letting us know. Okay, so 2026. What do you want to achieve? So I hope you all have pen, paper. If not, you have your phones, I'm sure. So I want this to be interactive. I want this to be engaging. It's not just one-way traffic. It's definitely not a lecture. Okay. So in 2026, what do you want to achieve? Have a think. The specific question I want you to answer is, in 2026, write down your goal for 2026. You might have many goals. Okay. I want you to take a minute, keep it simple, and write down what is on that list, a goal that you want to achieve that you haven't achieved yet. I'll give you exactly 1 minute. If you can all just, in silence, no distractions, no discussions with anyone, write down your goal for 2026. I'll give you 1 minute. All right. That was close to a minute, I think. So hopefully you've written something, right? Can I do digital hands or something like that? If you've all written a goal, have most of you written a goal? Yes, Suriji has written lots of goals.
Oh, it
Good,
started with
good.
just one, but it's too many.
Good to see. Good to see. Yes, Sham has written a goal. Fantastic. Who else has written a goal? Yes, Karthik has written a goal. Pushpaji has written a goal. Srilekha has written a goal. Ujjwal has written a goal. What else? Anyone else? Okay. Okay. Any of you happy to share your goal? And if it's Arvind, thank you as well for writing. And it's perfectly okay if you do not wish to share. But I just want to check it out because I will share my goal with you. Don't you worry. Anyone keen to share?
Ujjwal, you want to share?
Oh, I was.
Yes, I can.
Let's go.
Apologies for not turning my camera on. I'm actually on the move with my mobile phone,
That's okay.
with my hand. So yeah, I mean, probably if I switch the camera on, you won't see anything except darkness, right?
That's
So,
perfect. That's okay.
Yeah.
yes. So, yes, health, family, and work, three
Okay.
goals.
Okay.
So
Pick one.
health, I
Pick
mean,
one.
yes,
Anyone.
I want to be a bit more fitter. Family, I want to spend a vacation every quarter, which
Mm,
I intend to do every year, but
mm,
somehow work keeps pulling me down.
mm.
And yes, for my business, I wanna, increase my revenue by an X amount. Yeah, simple.
Excellent. Okay. So let's take your business goal for the sake of this purpose, right? I just want you to think of one goal for the next 1 hour. Okay. So pick any one. I would suggest your business, right? So at the end of today, we talked about an action plan. This is not some major, massive action plan full of pages and frameworks. It's very simple. It's just a three-step action plan that I personally use and I would greatly recommend. It's called Keep, Stop, Start. So keep doing something to help you achieve your goal. Stop doing something that is actually getting in the way. Stop doing it right now. Start doing something that you haven't tried before, but have always wondered, maybe I should do this. Start doing that. What do they look like? We will find out. And this is what will help you attain that elusive goal, or that goal that you are seeking to achieve. Now, my goal, one of my 2026 goals, is to win a Grammy Award. As most of you would know, what Oscars are to movies, Grammys are to the music world. In fact, the Recording Academy, which runs the Grammys, they call it music's biggest night, which this year is on the 1st of February. Now, this is my SWOT analysis that is pertaining to this particular goal. We will talk about SWOT analysis in great detail, so don't you worry. Some of my strengths here, some of my weaknesses here, some of my opportunities here, some of my threats here. And they link to that goal. And that is one of the biggest lessons that we need to understand. Oh, and by the way, I am one step closer to that goal. So this year, one of my albums did get nominated for a Grammy. And so on the 1st of February, I will be very much in LA, and the Grammy goes to, and that moment has some significance for me this year. So with all your blessings, hopefully I can be on that stage. So one step closer to that goal. But let me tell you a story. Let me take you back to 2001. I just moved from India. In fact, I've just moved from Nirma, Ashish, at that time. And I was doing engineering. Now, I was a reluctant engineer. In fact, I had no interest in engineering, to be very honest. So, engineering, as you know, is full of, formulas and all kinds of, all kinds of very cerebral stuff. Now, the topper of the university, the gold medalist, I still remember, she told me, I wish I had your voice, was what she told me. I wish I had your voice. And I went, voice ka main kya karunga? I wish I had your brains, is what I told her. Okay, so she was a gold medalist. So the gold medalist was appreciating something she didn't have. Instead of accepting her compliment very graciously, she was a friend, I just went, so what? I wish I had what you have. Grass is always greener on the other side, right? So the point of this story is that I possess something that I did not value at that time. And the rule of thumb, one of the things is that if you don't value something, you will not use it. Think about it. Even in your house, something that is, when you do the Diwali cleanup, all that excess hoarding, you have it, but you don't use it. Why? Because you don't value it. So hold this thought and we'll get into that. So let me do a brief introduction about what I do. I'm a leadership coach and a motivational speaker. So I deliver keynotes, I run workshops, webinars similar to this. Primarily, I run coaching courses focused on leadership and sales. A number of my clients on this slide, in fact, I was just thinking it's been a while since I updated this slide because the number of logos that aren't there. So yeah, I worked with Kohl's, I continue to work with a number of these other brands that are on this, Sundaram Business Services and so on. In 2022, I kicked another goal, a long-term goal of mine, to speak at TEDx, Monash University. I've been a judge of the White Horse Business Excellence Awards for about 3 years. I served on the board of the Multicultural Business Ministerial Council. I came to Melbourne from Auckland, from New Zealand, to do my MBA from the Melbourne Business School. Over the course of many years, I have lent my voice to 11 audiobooks by some very prominent Indian personalities, including the then sitting president of India in 2016, Shri Pranab Mukherjee. Ram Gopal Verma's autobiography, Guns and Thighs, is in my voice. MS Dhoni's biography is in my voice. Devdutt Patnaik's Business Sutra is in my voice. Shashi Tharoor, his book India Shastra, is in my voice, and so on. For the last 25 years, I've had a parallel career as a singer, songwriter, musician. I became the first Indian Australian to be a featured artist on a Grammy-nominated album, also the first Indian Australian to be a voting member of the Recording Academy. And I've been on the Grammy in consideration for the Grammy ballot for the last 4 years. So I have 4 studio albums. I performed with Shankar Mahadevan, Udit Narayan, Sadhna Sargam, some 700 odd live concerts, and so on. This was me at the Grammys last year. I was invited by the Recording Academy. It was an incredible experience. Ashish here actually, interestingly, talked about coming to one of my book launches, which was for my first novel, Wings of Silence, in 2012. Subsequently, I also wrote and published my second novel, Let Me Go. So if you're into fiction, check it out. Also, typical stereotype, I love cricket. Grew up watching cricket, grew up loving cricket, grew up playing cricket, and also had a long-term dream of doing some international commentary, which I pulled off in 2016 at the Adelaide Oval and at the MCG when India toured for the 2016 T20 series. Okay, let's get back to what is SWOT analysis. So let me reintroduce some of these terms. Strengths and weaknesses they belong to you. What do you do well? What sets you apart? That is strengths. Where do you need to improve? What do others do better than you? Opportunities. What external factors are in your favor? And threats, opposite of that. What is external? Blocking you. It's like when you walk and the wind is against you. That's a threat. When the wind is with you, that's an opportunity. Okay, you cannot control it. You can use it. So now, how many of you have done a SWOT analysis for your corporate or even for yourself? Can I see some digital hands or even the chat box? If you've done a SWOT analysis, please let everyone know. Suriji has done one or more. Pushpaji has done one. Okay, anyone else? Okay, all right. Okay, so SWOT analysis, you fill these 4 boxes, okay? Then what happens is, what do you do with it? How do you take a decision with it? How can it make a difference? So what happens is, even in Melbourne Business School, when I went in the MBA, they taught us this. But with all due respect to MBS, we all ended up with this page full of information, strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. And then what? I call it the SWOT, so what moment. SWOT, so what? We need to avoid that because it's got to mean something. And that is where I'm going to show you, okay? What does it mean and how can we use it? Now, remember this, remember Mount Everest? Your goal is at the top of whatever mountain you have. Hmm? So we are going to do a SWOT analysis of Sir Edmund Hillary. What would have helped him reach? But what is the first step for a SWOT analysis? Can someone tell me? I've just mentioned it. Okay, remember GOS, goals, opportunities, strengths. So the first step is actually not the SWOT analysis. It's the goal, right? What was Sir Edmund Hillary's goal? Obviously, I haven't asked him. He's not even alive to ask, but it's just a guess. Is to be the first to climb Mount Everest. Correct? Yeah. To create history, to be the first to climb Mount Everest. So he possessed certain strengths. He was very strong-willed mentally and physically. He was an excellent planner, calculated risk taker, relentless preparer. So you prepare, and learned very quickly. However, weaknesses, he didn't have a lot of experience climbing high altitude. Okay, compared to some of the European climbers. He was very shy, very introverted, which is, he wouldn't put himself out there. And he is known to get frostbite and struggle with high altitudes, actually. Interesting, right? But look at the strengths as well. Now, opportunities. Weather window was good, but weather can be unpredictable. Weather window is good. May, the month of May is considered to be the best for climbing Mount Everest. Another opportunity is the quotation mark failure of Team 1. If Team 1 had succeeded, they wouldn't have gotten a chance. That's an opportunity. And then, of course, the partnership with Tenzing Norgay. Threats, mountain itself. Mount Everest, the biggest threat would have been if Team 1 succeeded. Threat is also equipment failure, possible equipment failure, rival expeditions. All other countries were also running similar expeditions. There was a race to be the first to climb Mount Everest. So this is his SWOT analysis. Okay, now how would he have put this to use? Again, this is what it looks like. Let us understand what your SWOT analysis looks like. That was his. Would you be keen to do your SWOT analysis to understand what your SWOT might look like so that you can achieve your goals? Remember, that's it. No, you should never do a SWOT analysis for the sake of it. If someone says do a SWOT analysis, first question you ask should be, what are we trying to achieve? What is the goal? Okay? Yeah. So, that is the question I asked you. What is your goal? You've already written an answer to that, hopefully. A number of you have. Correct. So think back to your goal. And of course, we talk about SMART goals and all that. That's a separate workshop. I know I can talk about it a little, but keep it specific. Like I remember Ujjwal, right? You had said a fitter. I've also used that terminology before, but your other two goals were more specific. Yeah, business goal, X revenue, holiday with family once a quarter. Super specific, super measurable. Fitter is not specific, fitter is hard to measure. So I would suggest you give it more detail and time bound. Give it a little time limit. Okay, we don't need to spend time talking about SMART goals. So what is your think big goal? Yeah, think big. Think big. If you all want to achieve big, first precursor is to think big. Bada socho, bada karo. Right? That's how it works. So, what is your think big goal? You got your think big goal, all of you, most of you? Huh? You got your goal, Pushpaji? Ashish, you got your goal? You got your goal, you got your destination. Yeah? What is the first thing you need to achieve a goal? Remember GOS. What comes after G?
Opportunities.
Opportunities. You know what opportunities are? You know what are opportunities? Opportunities is that beautiful gift that the universe gives you every single day, multiple times. Yeah, we achieve something and we think, everything I did and nobody helped me. Actually, the universe is helping you every single day. And I'm very sorry to inform you this. You cannot achieve anything if the opportunity does not exist. Okay? You cannot achieve anything. So, what were the opportunities for Mount Everest? Yeah, let's look at that. We already did this thing. But the weather, failure of Team 1, and partnership. These were the opportunities. Did he have any control over this? No control. No control. But what he could do is take advantage of it, which is what is the first step of SWOT analysis. So write down your opportunities and understand that it links directly to the goal. So I'd like you to take a couple of minutes and list some of your current opportunities. Suriji, you have a question?
Brief question, which is lingering in my mind for a few minutes, is that the opportunities and threats are relative, like they are constantly refreshing and changing. I can't plan my next 3 months, 6 months based on my today's opportunities. It will change every day, as you said. So, are you still suggesting you should still reflect on what present today's right moments, opportunities, and plan from that basis? And if more opportunities come,
So periodically refresh your SWOT analysis is the short answer.
okay, thank you so much.
So periodically, you could say weekly, you could review your
So,
SWOT
there's
analysis.
nothing harm in refreshing your SWOT all the time. Oh,
You
thank you.
must, you must, because
Thank
as
you.
you're right, they don't remain static. Some things do, but of course, the idea is to mitigate the threats. The idea is to take advantage of the opportunities. That
Makes
way,
sense. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
But if situations change, you've got to review it, 100%.
Thank you.
Okay, opportunities. Can I give you 2 minutes, everyone, to write down your current opportunities, gifts that the universe is giving to you that you cannot control, but are useful for, in fact, not just useful, they're critical to achieve your goal. What opportunities do you have currently? Surgery is done. Once you've written at least 1 to 3, you don't need to write too many, just 1 to 3. At least write one. At least write one. If you've written at least one, put a thumbs up so I know where everyone is at.
Meanwhile, Usha ji has asked a question in chat. If what if you don't get opportunity?
No, you will, Pushpaji. Definitely, you will get opportunities. We just have to look for them. We just have to look for them. So I'll tell you a very obvious opportunity. Okay, and this might sound a bit absurd and a bit weird, but every morning you wake up is an opportunity. Some of them don't get that opportunity. In fact, about 150,000 people don't get it. Okay, so it's about opportunity is an interesting thing. You know, when we talk about gratitude, and it comes up on the next few slides. When we talk about gratitude, what is it for? Gratitude is for the opportunity that is presented to us. Yeah. So, yeah. So just think about it. Even the sun shining is an opportunity. The fact that we have water is an opportunity. So think about what is there in your life, and how every day there's a chance to get closer to that goal. So it's always there. We just have to look carefully. Like, for example, today, right now is an opportunity for every one of us, all of us, to indulge in vichar, to get deep in thought, to benefit everyone. It's not just me and you, it's all of us. Right now, there's an opportunity. All right. Some of you have written some opportunities down. We'll talk more about it. Don't worry. Don't worry. It'll come. It'll come with practice. It'll come with practice. Okay. So, with opportunities, first step is identifying opportunities. Yeah. It's very easy for us to see, well, where are the opportunities? First step is we must train ourselves to identify them. Even the very obvious ones, identify them. Okay. Many of us have moved abroad, right? That itself is an opportunity to learn so many things. When I moved with my parents in 2000, my father's also on this call, to New Zealand, that was an incredible opportunity for me to do so many things. So first is identify it. Second is be grateful. Be grateful for those opportunities. And third, very important, take advantage of them. Right? Make the most of it. Make it count. Because that step, that taking advantage, is what you need to achieve your goal. Like Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, they grabbed that opportunity with both hands. There was actually a team 3 also. They did not give a chance to team 3. They said, we will do it. They grabbed that opportunity. Okay, take advantage. So remember, this is with opportunities. So let's take a minute. I mean, you don't have to do it now, but at least even after the call, think about your opportunities, at least before you go to bed today. Be grateful for the opportunities you have. Express the gratitude to whoever has presented that opportunity. It could be the universe, it could be God, it could be your spouse, someone who's given you an opportunity to do something. Yeah, I'm grateful to Suriji for giving me the opportunity to share this.
And we're grateful to you. Thank you.
No, that's okay. That's all right. So, so this is how it works. So please do that before you go to bed today. But let's focus on this. The third step, how do we take advantage of our current opportunities? How do we take advantage of that? Now, he gave me this opportunity. I had done a similar presentation somewhere, but I took this opportunity, took advantage. I said, okay, let me redesign the slides. Let me put some new stuff in. So it gave me an opportunity to actually work on this content again. Yeah. So how do we take advantage? The short answer is strengths. G-O-S. Goss. Goss could be gossip. Goss could be gospel. Okay, whatever it is. But G-O-S. S. S is what you do. Now, I'm going to make a general comment, and it might or might not apply to you, but it's based on my observation and number of people's observation. We tend to be very weakness mindset focused. Okay, what do we not have? Deficiency. What is the inadequacy? We need to be more strength focused. We need to be more strength focused. Anyone, I'm making a big statement here, anyone who has ever achieved anything in their life, your role model, your parents, you yourself, have done so by playing to your strengths and not by obsessing over your weaknesses. Have a think about this. Anyone who has ever achieved anything in life has done so by playing to their strengths. Okay? Have a think about that. So that is why we come to our how to play to our strengths. Now, strengths come in two shapes actually: natural strengths and acquired strengths. Natural strengths, it comes very naturally to you. For example, I don't know if this is true, but Suriji, very naturally he might organize people or get people together. It might come very naturally to him. Ashish might come very naturally for him to connect with people. Srilekha ji, it might come very naturally for her to introduce people. Maybe she's the networking person. A meet B and she's happy and comes naturally. Maybe, we don't know. But there are natural strengths and acquired strengths. In my case, natural strengths, and this is part one thing. There's no, I need to be humble. I cannot share my strengths. No. You, as openly as you share about your weaknesses, please share about your strengths. In fact, more. Okay. I have a voice that can connect with people. I'm a good verbal communicator. I'm a good speaker. I'm a good thinker. And these are natural strengths. I'm a good singer. I'm a good entertainer. I'm creative. I'm spontaneous. These are all natural strengths. And I have practiced and downloaded these into my psyche a lot so that I'm always leading with strengths. Okay? But then there are, in natural strengths also, there are two. Strengths that you use and strengths that you don't use. Remember? Strengths that you don't recognize, you will not use. You don't even know you have it. You don't even know you're good at poetry. How will you write a poem? Strengths that you don't value. Yeah, poetry, who cares? Then you won't use it. Strengths that you don't own. Okay, it took me some time to own my voice. To know that in 8.5 billion people, nobody has the voice that I do. Nobody has the voice that you do. Correct? You are unique. So you need to celebrate and own your uniqueness. Now, acquired strengths. There are two types of strengths. Learned strengths. That means you've learned it in this life. For example, being organized does not come naturally to me. But I have organized many events. It's an acquired strength. It's a learned strength. Now, learned strengths, maybe you enjoy them, then you're lucky. But if you have a learned strength that you don't enjoy, that you keep using again and again, that is where burnout happens. That is what can drain you or deplete you. It can take energy away from you. So you have to be very, very careful about learned strengths. Natural question, how do I know what my strengths are? Natural question. Yeah? How do I know what my strengths are? I would suggest you spend years and years, studying the most fascinating subject in the world, you. Okay? Get fascinated with yourself, not in a pompous or arrogant way. Curious. Okay, what am I good at? Spend a lot of time with yourself, introspection. That is one. Second is ask people who know you well. And third is to do tests, online tests like this, the strengths profile, which I highly recommend. It's free. You can do it for free. It takes 20 minutes. And it does not like you or dislike you. Your friends, that's one problem, bias. If they like you, they will say all kinds of things. If they don't like you, then they'll say, what strengths? You don't have any strengths. You're completely hopeless. Okay, but platforms like this don't have bias. So I strongly suggest that you do a test like this. Now, this will return 4 things to you. Realized strengths, strengths that you use and enjoy. Unrealized strengths, very interesting, strengths that you don't use as often. Aata hai aapko, you know it. You're good at it. There is no need to upskill, but you don't use it. Third is learned behaviors. Remember? Things you've learned to do but may not enjoy, and that is the problem. Weaknesses, things that you find hard and don't enjoy. So there's direct relation to the Ikigai framework, which was there a couple of slides ago, a couple of sessions ago. Yes, Soniji. Yes, Suri.
Yeah, I just want to highlight all the audience that I've shared this link of this assessment in the chat and not in the chat, in the WhatsApp group. I'll share the link here as well again. So make sure you register and do this your self-assessment if you're thinking where the link is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. So this is a sample report. The one pager looks like. What are the realized strengths? That means use wisely. Unrealized strengths, use more. You've locked it up. It's your secret thing, but it's no good to you. Learned behaviors, use only when needed. Weaknesses, got to be very careful about that. Okay. Now, how does this relate to SWOT? There you go. Your realized strengths are your strengths. Your unrealized strengths, there is an opportunity for you to bring them out of the cupboard. Those who have seen the movie 1983, right? And there's a scene where Ranveer Singh, who plays Kapil Dev, he says in that Zimbabwe match, he says, Mongoose bat nikalo. You have the mongoose bat. Can you please take it out more often? That is what this is saying. Usko cupboard mein rakh ke kya fayda? Right? Learned behaviors are threats. They can absolutely slow you down. And weaknesses is weaknesses. Okay? So this is the correlation. Now I'll show you 2 images. Image number 1. Have a look. And image number 2. We will talk about it later. But remember these images. Okay? Yeah? Right? Again, a humble request for you to switch on your camera if you can, so that we can all interact with each other. Okay? Okay. I want you to list 5 of your strengths, and this time I would love for you to just open the chat window and just put your strengths in. Just go for it. What are you good at? 1 word is enough. Don't give us an essay. Just 1 word is enough. What are you great at? Own it. But it first starts with sharing it. So put it in the chat window saying, I am great at what? What are you great at? Ujjwal says great at teaching. Shruti says great at talking. Shruti, we should make you talk more on this call. Suri says community service. Yeah, we can see that. What else? Ashish says taking the first step. Oh, that's fantastic, Ashish. Yes, you took the first step to talk about Nirman today. Good one, Ashish. Okay, who else? And please put in more strengths. Positive, Arvind, positive mindset. I think that's what you're talking about. Great. Sri Lekha, great at connecting with people. See, yeah, good. And I can see that you did that. I think you connected me with Suriji. I think if I remember correctly, for
He
Vichar.
did, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, so there you
Thank you,
go.
Srilekha.
Grateful to you then. Yeah, I'm grateful to you, Sri Lekha. Good. Time management, Vimalji, fantastic. Hopefully, this is good use of your time, sir. Sri Lekha, oh, fantastic. Yes, no, you are fantastic. That you're good at being fantastic, also. Yes, very good. Okay, what else? What else? If you know anyone on this call, even if it's one example, please type it in what they are good at. Vimalji says creativity, fantastic. Suriji says hunger for learning new things, good. If you can point out a strength of anyone on this group, that'll also be amazing. Okay, all right, fantastic. Strengths, already feels good, right? When life is giving you knockbacks, this, that, just focus on your strengths. First of all, it will put you in a positive frame of mind, and then it'll allow you to do all kinds of great things. Shilekha says, Suriji's strength is also being humble, polite in nature, and calm at all times. Fantastic. You know, if you're humble, somebody else should say it. You should never say it. Because my guru, Swami Chinmayananda, Gurudev, who started the Swami Chinmaya mission, he has a very interesting quote on humility. The moment you think you have it, you've lost it. Okay, good, fantastic. Lovely to hear Shilekha ji's positive thing about Suriji. Good. Now, okay, chalo. Once you fill your SWOT analysis, once you've done that, what do you do? See, remember, we have to avoid the SWOT, so what moment, right? I'm going to give you 4 secrets that people don't talk about. Secret number 1, map the strengths to an opportunity. What does this mean? Connect S to O. What does that mean, Shriram? Let me give you an example. There's electricity, correct? There is light bulb. Separately, are they useful? No, they're not. Okay, electricity is electricity. Electricity cannot express itself. It needs something to express itself. Correct? This is getting into slight Vedanta territory. But this example comes here also. Light bulb by itself, is it any good? You buy a light bulb from the supermarket and boom, glows. No. Yeah, it needs to meet electricity. That means light bulb, electricity, they need to meet. And that is exactly what we mean here. Okay, think of electricity as opportunity. Think of light bulb as strengths. They need to meet. Then the magic happens. This Sir Edmund Hillary used his strengths to take advantage of the opportunities. Strengths that were unique to him. He's a very quick learner. He took that to learn from team 1. Okay, what not to do. He was such a good planner, he did not take the risks that team 1 took. That is why he was able to take advantage of the weather. That is why he was able to take advantage of his partnership with Tenzing Norgay. Excellent Sherpa. You understand how this works? So the question is, how will you use your strengths to take advantage of your opportunities? That is the question number one. There are four critical questions. Secret number two, map the strengths to a threat. S to T. Here, the threat is big. The threat is the villain, remember. Strength is the hero. Right? Is the hero stronger than the villain? Yes. In this case. So what if it's a mountain? I am so strong-willed, I am stronger than the mountain. Yeah? Equipment failure. Such a good planner. Equipment did not fail. He did not take risks. So do you understand how you can mitigate the threat? So the question is, second question is, how will you use your strengths to mitigate, manage or overcome threats? Opportunities का क्या करना है? Take advantage of them. Threats, mitigate or manage them. How? Strengths. Okay? Suriji, I'll just finish these three questions and then I'll take your question. Map the weakness to an opportunity. That means W to O. Ooh, opportunities is hero, weakness is villain. Is the opportunity, are you not compromising on your opportunity? That is, should be the concern here. Less altitude experience. Ooh, can that expose him to certain threats? Limitedly. Okay, because the weather was very good. The opportunity is actually stronger. Okay. So here the question is, how will you work on your weaknesses so that you don't lose out on your opportunities? Now, the problem is we are so obsessed with our weaknesses. Like even if you take Cristiano Ronaldo, excellent football player, huh? If he were to list his weaknesses, he'll have so many weaknesses. That means, does he have to work on all the weaknesses? Do we have to work on all our weaknesses? No. Only those ones that compromise on the opportunities and only those ones that expose you to threats. Now, I am terrible at drawing. I don't care. I don't need to work on that. Right? I cannot dance even though I'm in the arts. I'm an entertainer. I can't dance. That sounds like, whoa, Shriram, I think you should need to learn dance. I don't need to learn dance. Because I've got other strengths in engagement and entertainment. People say, do you dance? My response is, I make people dance. So you see, we don't need to be obsessed with our weaknesses. Only work on those that compromise opportunities or expose you to threats. W to T, fourth one. The combination of W and T can be fatal. But in this case, they were balanced by the strengths and opportunities. Question is, how will you work on your weaknesses so you don't get exposed to your threats, so that you don't get exposed to 8,840 meters. Okay, so that you don't get exposed to equipment failure. Luckily, his strengths were strong enough, so the weaknesses were okay. Okay, so do you see the linkage between S and O, S and T, W and O, W and T? And these are the four relationships you need to explore, four critical questions. How will you use your strengths to take advantage of your opportunity? How will you use your strengths to mitigate or manage your threats? How will you manage your weaknesses so that you don't lose out on opportunities? Yeah? Like if I was, let's say, very poor at verbal communication, that was a weakness. And then this opportunity was there, and Suriji said, then I have a problem, right? Then I cannot take advantage of that opportunity at all. There's a huge problem there. So question 4, how will you manage or work on your weaknesses so you don't get exposed to your threats? Yeah. Now, global pandemic was a threat for everyone. Lot of airlines were shut. Lot of travel agencies, they were exposed to their weaknesses. But some pivoted, they started thinking out of the box. They used their strengths to still stay afloat, still stay alive. Okay, now I need to make a quick note towards the end of the presentation. Remember this? Sorry, Suriji, I'll take your question here.
Yeah, briefly, as you mentioned early on, that opportunities and threats are external and they are kind of a perception, and they can be small and big. It could be wide bandwidth of opportunities and threats.
Yeah.
So, how do you apply the strengths and weaknesses towards those opportunities and threats? That do you take low hanging fruit approach, or do you go with the flow? Or because no matter how much strength I have, but I have a perception of very high threats as well. I can never match, I can never overcome my strength over threats. So what's your approach on tackling wide variety of opportunities and threats? Do we take
So if
low hanging fruit?
the threat is bigger than the strength, then you have no choice but to work on some weaknesses, make them stronger, move them to the strength box,
Yeah.
and make that strength box stronger than the threat.
So basically, we are working towards maximizing the whole grade, is it? Maximizing.
Yeah, but you have to be very careful when you use the word maximize. As I said, if there are 10 weaknesses,
Yeah.
expectation would be, oh my God, I am so bad. I am hopeless. I have so many deficiencies. That is the risk.
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
have to really just prioritize.
Prioritize. Yeah.
I
Thank
said
you.
I do not need to work on my dancing skills at all.
Correct. But you understood my question, right? Where I'm coming, that the perception, it's a perception game, the opportunities and threats, and it can be wide variety.
Yeah. So just use what is relevant to your goal.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Thank you.
it. That is the scope is goal.
Yeah.
Because if I were to do a general strength, weakness, opportunities, there's so many.
No, no, towards goal itself, we can perceive any large, complex, or small threats.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we have to tackle it different
What
way.
you know, because perception, see, can lead into ineffective imagination. You can perceive threats that are actually not there.
That's the thing.
Yes.
Threats, yeah, they are
You have to be measured about it. You have to be
yeah.
measured about it.
Thank
And which is why, I mean, you can work with a coach like me so that I can contain it and say, okay, calm down. That is actually not a threat. You don't need to worry about it.
The
Or,
self-doubting is another way to put it, Suriji, because what's our perception is often we are just self-doubting our weaknesses or amplifying it. So they may not be of the same magnitude, as you
yeah,
said.
Yep.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So, if you were to use self-doubt as an example, you should list it as a weakness. Not you, anyone who is
Mm.
doing this exercise. If the tendency is there to doubt, then you know that that can amplify the threat. But do you have a corresponding strength that says, don't worry, you can self-doubt, but I'm a good planner. So I can plan for future threats.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Something like that. There are many permutations and combinations. Anyway, so I remember this and remember this. Okay, so the story here is that the big tree is telling the grass that look at me, I'm so strong. Who are you? You're just one tiny blade of grass. You are completely useless. The blade of grass says, okay, my lord. Okay, thank you for reminding me of how insignificant I am. Okay, no. Now, if it's a good day, then it's fine. The tree is stronger. There is no doubt. If the tree were to do the strength SWOT analysis, tree would say big size as a strength because threat does not have anything. However, suddenly, if the threat becomes a storm, then in the SWOT analysis of the tree, the big size becomes a weakness. The blade is untouched. The small size of the blade of the grass becomes a strength. So yes, unfortunately, it is very dynamic, and you will need to understand what threat comes when or what opportunities come where. So depending on the threat, depending on the opportunity, strengths can become weaknesses and weaknesses can become strengths. You have to be careful of that. Okay. So as I said, one of my goals is to win a Grammy Award. This is my SWOT analysis. And how this would work for a very simple thing. Remember this is the end game, and this is exactly, I think this is going to be my last slide, or one of my last slides, is that you look at your strengths that you currently use. You keep doing that. You should keep doing that. Suddenly what happens is we focus on, oh, I need to improve this, I need to improve that. We stop doing what we are doing well. Yeah? We stop doing that. So that's number one. Keep doing what you're good at, your strengths. Now the stop indulging on your weaknesses that expose you to threats and compromise opportunities. Stop using acquired strengths that can cause burnout. Start using unrealized opportunities. Actually, this is that is the solution to most of our issues actually. When we don't have something, immediately we go to, oh, I don't know how to get up in the morning. Oh, I need to lose weight. I need to get up in the morning. I'm bad at getting up in the morning. That's one. I mean, it's a limiting belief. That is another topic for another workshop. But what if you're good at exercising in the evening, but you're not using it? So the easier one, low-hanging fruit, you use that word, right? The easier thing to start is start exercising in the evening. Easy. Come back from work and do it. Yeah, if you're high energy at around 6 o'clock, oh, perfect. Another opportunity, weather is bright. Do it now. So yeah, so that is one way of looking at this. Keep, stop, start. So three simple things. Whatever your goal in 2026 is, look at these three things. Use your SWOT analysis, GOS. Your output should be this. Keep, 1, 2, 3 points. Stop, 1, 2, 3 points. Start, 1, 2, 3 points. Okay, that brings us to the formal end of this presentation. For any help, feel free to reach out. This is my phone number. This is my email address. Suriji, of course, has it. I'm also on the group. So you can reach out. This is me on LinkedIn. You please feel free to reach out. So you can take a screenshot or do the QR code. After pandemic, we're all experts at using QR codes. So please feel free to do that. I have a little workbook that I'm happy to send your way. So Suriji, I'll quickly take people across this workbook. You write your think big goal, write your opportunities, write your top strengths, then fill your SWOT analysis. Then answer those 4 questions. How will you take advantage of the opportunities? How will you mitigate the threats? How will you not lose out on your opportunities? And how will you not get exposed to your threats? Okay? Yeah, we say, no, sitting ducks. You should not be sitting ducks to your threats. Okay. And then this keep, stop, start. This is a workbook, free workbook. I'm happy to send it to whoever needs it. Suriji, you can let me know who wants it.
Yeah, if you can send send to me, I'll share in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. All right, fantastic. That is the end of the presentation. And if any of you have any questions,
Ashish Bhai has got question.
Yeah, can you quickly circle back on that thing that how acquired strengths can drain you? I didn't quite get that. What
So
you
the
had in
angle,
the
angle
last
with acquired, I'll explain the angle with acquired strengths, right? I don't know how familiar you are with the Ikigai framework. So one is do what you're good at. So acquired strength becomes do what you're good at. The other is do what you love. But because they are acquired, that does not mean you love it. Natural, mostly you will love it. Natural again is a gift, by the way. Natural strength is also a gift. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, has given it to you. So you have to really think about it. What comes naturally to a fish? Climb a tree. The fish might learn to swim. Sorry, what comes naturally to swim? The fish might learn to climb a tree, but that's risky, and people might not be willing to pay enough. The fish is going to not be as good as a monkey. Monkey is not going to be as good as a fish in swimming. So if it comes naturally to you, there is something there. Universe is giving you a sign. Boss, spend your lifetime expressing your natural strength. But then you also learned some strengths. If you love them, no problem. Good, you're fine. But if thoda hichkichahat hai, oh man, I have to do this Excel again. I'm good at numbers, but oh man, if that is the thing, then you've got a problem there. Then you should delegate, or you should look to do something else. Be smart about it. Oh, I have to write an essay. I don't like writing. I'm good at it, but I don't like it. Like I'll tell you, my 9-year-old daughter, she is extremely intuitive and she knows all of this stuff that we're talking about, by the way. Okay, SWOT analysis, she's done her PhD at the age of 9. So I jokingly say, you should come on these coaching calls and you should coach my clients. She says, but I don't like it. She's very clear about it, right? So there's a big difference between what you're good at and whether you like it or not. And the problem with acquired strengths can be that you don't like it, that you don't enjoy it. And that is the difference.
Oh, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashish Bhai. And Shriram Bhai, if I can ask that, do you just do corporate coaching and training or one-on-one mentorship, or do you also run a group training modules privately other than corporate and for public audience like us?
So yes to all of the above. Primary work comes from organizations. that are my clients. However, I do take on some individual clients depending on my bandwidth, and usually they go on a 12-week journey with me. So they set a goal, a 12-week goal, and I use this and various other tools to help them get there.
Perfect.
So I work with individuals, and next year I will also be doing public workshops.
Workshops, that would be great. Yeah. Sri Lekha ji.
Well, thank you very much for the beautiful motivational and a reminder to what you can achieve as an individual. I think somewhere over a period of time, we become complacent in what we do, and we become very lazy, though we know we have those strengths, though we know we have those goals to meet. We kind of become complacent, and we kind of start making excuses over the weather, over the food, over the people around us, and things like that. I think the most valuable thing that I've learned from here is to actually remind yourself that you have a goal, and it will only be achieved when you keep it and stop from all the excuses that you make and start working on your strengths. Yeah, so thank you for the.
No problem, no problem. And I must say, look, what I'm doing right now for the last 3-4 years is me transitioning and being aligned with, my guru helped with this transition. He said, align with your swabhava. In Vedanta, there's the term swabhava, your true nature. Yeah. So once you align with your strengths, align with your swabhava, goals will just automatically happen.
Sometimes goals require funding. What happens to that?
It'll happen.
Okay.
You just have to have the faith. Like, I need sources of funding for a lot of my projects, but I start them, the universe makes way for it.
Okay.
Because I am indulging in my swabhava, right? It'll happen. You have to keep the faith.
Okay. Thank you.
Might not see, the trick is you don't have the answer now. If you persist, you will get the answer. Where do I get my funding? You don't know the answer tonight. But if you just hold on to that, you will get the answer maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's the thing, right?
No, agreed. I believe it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sri Lekha ji. Any last question from the audience before we wrap up?
Just wanted to, there's no question, but yeah, just want to thank, I think, Shriram for such an insightful sort of presentation. I know we've read as professionals, we've read SWOT analysis. It wasn't nothing, it wasn't new to us, especially if I talk about it. But it's just that, as I think someone just said, you get become complacent and you think that, okay, I know this, right? I know my strengths, weaknesses, opportunities. That's very low. There's no point writing it down. But I think once you've presented it again, I think that sort of pulled the thought from the subconscious into the active mind to really, make at least myself start thinking about it. So yeah, thank you very much. I think it was great hearing you today.
Thank you. It starts with the thinking, then leads to the doing. Yeah, lead with your strengths.
Absolutely.
Lead with your strengths. Yeah, that's my 3 words, 4 words.
Thank you so much, Ujjwal. And I think we are towards the wrap up. I took extra 10 minutes in the beginning, but thank you, Shriram, for wonderful presentation. One of my goal through this Vichar webinar is to strengthen the entire community. And as you said, just a firm believer that will happen, and by God's grace and by all community support, like Sri Lekha ji introduced you again, even though we knew, but she introduced again, and we are helping and growing that collective wisdom, and that will happen one day, and will shine as a whole community and collectively grow. So thank you so much for taking out time. I was surprised to see there were more than 111 slides you walked us through in a very short period of time. And we learned a lot. Got, as Sri Lanka ji, we are coming out of our complacency and learning and challenging ourselves day in, day out. And it was a great opportunity for all of us, all the audience here, to hear directly from Shriram ji, very sought after speaker in Australia. And we wish you well, Shriram, for your Grammy Awards. And thank you so much. And we'll like to hear a lot more from you, your small anecdotes of wisdom over that period of time. With your support and guidance, we'll grow as a community as a whole.
Thank you, Suriji. Thank you for this opportunity. I
Thank you,
greatly
sir. Thank you. So kind. With that note, thank you everyone, and thank your father as well if he's joined today. Meena ji is your father.
yes.
Yeah, namaste ji, and thank you for giving us great soul to share wisdom with the community. Meena ji, thank you. With that thought, sabko namaste, good night, shubhratri. We'll meet again next Wednesday. Namaste, bye.
Yes. Thank you all.